Well, now let's talk about conclusions and inferences and the difference between them. Sometimes conclusions and inferences are a bit confusing. Well, look at the definition that we have here. We say drawing conclusions involves making logical judgments, while making inferences about making reasonable guesses. So to be able to understand the difference, we need to know what exactly we mean by logical judgments and reasonable guesses. Let me bring a, let's say, good example, a very simple example, to make it clear. Look, I say, for example, I am really tired because I went on a long hiking, or I went on a long hike. So the, let's say, inference is this. We say hiking is tiring. Why? We have this inside the text. The reason that I'm tired is because of hiking. So then we can make this inference that hiking is tiring. But what about making a conclusion? To distinguish them, we can say a conclusion could be, for example, I need to sleep, or I need to, for example, relax. This is a conclusion. So the conclusion is not mentioned in the text, while an inference is mentioned. Sometimes the two words conclusions and inferences might be used interchangeably. When we talk about the difference, we say if there is a difference between these two, this is how we distinguish them. Well, both of these evaluation techniques are based on the facts, ideas, or opinions. Well, of course, we make conclusions, we make inferences based on the information that we have inside the text, which can be in the form of facts or opinions. There are some examples here. Let's go through the first one. We say, based on a study by Leon and Carter, 2008, employers prefer graduates who have basic, higher order, and effective skills. So what can be an inference? An example is this: graduates without appropriate soft skills will unlikely be employed. This is kind of restatement of the text itself, because we say employers prefer these types of graduates, not those without these skills. So this is an inference, something that is mentioned in the text. But a logical conclusion is this: we say graduates should prepare themselves with suitable soft skills to secure jobs. The conclusion that we have made is not directly mentioned inside the text. So we go a bit out of the text. We use the information that we have here, so we ourselves can make a judgment, but our judgment must be, let's say, proved by the information from the text. Let's study some other examples. As you can see here, we say a research by a Malaysian university revealed that immediate collaboration between a university and an industry should be formed to produce students that fulfill the industry's needs. Well, this is the text. So a reasonable inference is this. We say Malaysian graduates have not yet equipped themselves with necessary skills to work in an industry. So this is a, let's say, reasonable inference. Why? Because it has been mentioned. When we say the research has revealed this, let's say, immediate collaboration, that means the graduates have not been equipped with the skills. What about a logical conclusion? A logical conclusion is this: local universities should take prompt action to prepare students for the workplace. You see, the conclusion is a bit out of the text. And there is also another example here. We say, according to Boyd 2009, youths who grow up watching television every day have a higher tendency to commit crimes as compared to those who watch television on a less frequent basis. You see, the inference is this: watching a lot of television makes teenagers prone to violence. This is exactly a restatement of what we have said in the text. But for a logical conclusion, we say youngsters should be stopped from watching. The text does not tell us directly that we need to stop teenagers or youngsters, let's say, from watching television. But this is a conclusion that we make based on this text. Well, finally, we have article analysis. It's about how to analyze articles and text. We say making inferences, drawing conclusions, using reference words, and using discourse markers are elements that need to be understood so that we can easily understand and analyze text or an article. And we say analyzing an article is about identifying the main idea, supporting details, purpose, tone, and intended audience of the article. So once you're given an article to, let's say, analyze, you need to first understand, let's say, what the thesis statement of the article is, or what the main ideas of, let's say, the body paragraphs are. You need to know about the supporting details, because you know that we must have supporting details to support the main ideas in each body paragraph. We must know what the purpose of the article is. This is something we have previously discussed. And also, based on the content and let's say the purpose, we need to know who the audience of the article, let's say, is. Then we also need to know about, let's say, making inferences. You know, it's important to know inferences and conclusions, let's say, when we are taking a reading test, because there we will be asked questions, for example, about, let's say, there will be some multiple choice questions that are very common in reading. You know, you will be asked to choose the inference that is true based on the article, or, for example, the conclusion that is true based on the article. So these are the things that you need to know about an article. Well, thank you. That's it for this session. See you later.